We're in Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, and Jeremiah is one of 16 Old Testament prophets. He's one of 16 Old Testament prophets. And each of the prophets, each of the book of the prophets in the Old Testament, they have a common thread. God delivers Israel out of bondage. He brings them out of Egypt. He hears their cry. He goes to deliver them working through Moses, brings them out of bondage. Israel gets beside themselves, rebels against God's rule. God spanks them and restores them. Amen. All 16 prophets tell the same story. Did you know that? Amen. There are 16 prophets and 17 books of the prophets. Jeremiah wrote Jeremiah and Lamentation. But there's this common thread. God hears their cry, brings them out of bondage. They get freed up and rebel against God's rule. God spanks them and restores them. That's the common thread in all of the prophets. Now, God gonna have to deal with the same problems in Israel that an earthly father has to deal with at some point or another in their child's life. At some point or another, your child is liable to roll their eyes at you. Amen. At some point or another, your child is liable to stick their lips out at you. Now, if your child is like me, I waited till I got around the corner somewhere. You don't do that stuff in the same house with my mama. You know, I got to confess for a moment here. I would bring my sons home, and my mama would treat them oh so nice. And you know, just baby them and cuddle them and all kind of carrying on. That's how she would treat my children. And I was getting mad, Cheddar, because that ain't the mama that I know. Amen. Amen. Who is this woman? Somebody stole my mama. I wanted to bring my sons home and say, here. Because I want to see her beat them up like she did me. Man, but she was treating them all good. God is saying here, I'm going to have to deal with the same stuff that an earthly father did with. And not only that, but here's what I'm dealing with. How do I restore my wayward child when I've done nothing that justifies my child being wayward in the first place? Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm not going to have time today, Sister Abraham. Pray for me, please. I've got to work on restoration. I've got to work on bringing my child back in. I got to work on recovering my child. I got to work on making it all right between me and my child. And I ain't done nothing for my child to act a fool in the first place. Come on, somebody know what I'm talking about. My child acting a fool, got stiff-necked and rebellious and left my covering, and now I'm the one that's got to work a plan to bring my child back, because my child didn't have sense enough to stay, so I know he ain't got sense enough to come back. All right. Are y'all hearing me here?